The next topic is about data type conversion. We, we, we are familiar with many types of data type. For example, numeric array or string or character array or cell array or table, categorial. How can we convert this array to one of them? For example, you have a numeric array, you want to convert it to the table, or you have a table, you want to convert it to cell array, or you have a string, you want to convert it to character array, or you have a string, you want to convert it to the cell array, or any case that you want to use. MATLAB has a many function to convert value from one data type to another for using different contexts. For example, you can convert number to text and then append them to a plot label or file name. Or you can represent number as their binary value, for example. MATLAB provides function for conversion between numeric array, string, and character array as a categorial or tables. For example, I said one of them before to you. It was a number to str. Number to str convert a number to a string. For example, 20. Output is a string. Class of ants. Character array is a string. Or you can convert a matrix to a character with a mat to str. Most of these conversion done with this function in MATLAB to most of them, not all of them. Previous is the name of the source and this side is the result. For example, num to str. Num refer to number and it's a string. Str refer to strings, a ratio. Or mat to str. Mat is a ratio of matrix and str is a ratio of a string. Num refer to numeric array and str refer to a string array. Or we can use a string for converting, for example, a number to a string. Or we can use the char for converting to a character. We can see the ASCII code of this number with the char. Or cell str can we convert the cell array to a character vector. Or reversely, we can convert a string to the number. We can use the str. The previous command was str to num, but MATLAB changed it to a new function it is a str to double. We have str to num. Str to num convert character array to a numeric array, but it's better. MATLAB recommended you to use the string to double to convert a string to double precision value. Or you can convert to the hexadecimal or binary number. It has a special application that you can read about it in the help of MATLAB. But for example, I bring some example in here. For example, you want to convert a decimal value to the binary value. For example, you want to convert 23 to binary value to the binary value for this decimal value. But it has some special applications, so I don't want to speak more about them. As I said, you can use categorial for creating a categorial array, or you can use table to array for converting a table to array, or table to cell for converting table to cell, or table to struct for converting a table to a structure array, or you can use the array to table for converting array to a table. It is very simple. You must just define an array as an input. For example, I use rand 3 as the input, and the result, save the result in a T4, T5. As you see, it creates a table for me from array. For work reversely, I use the table to array. I want to, it is a T5, I want to create the array. I use, for example, A2 is table to array T5. Result is a numeric array. Or as I said, cell to mat can be used for converting cell array to a matrix, or we have a cell to a struct that convert a cell array to a structure array. We have a mat to cell for converting a matrix to a cell array. What I said you before, you must pay attention to the content of the cell array when you want to use cell array for mat or cell array for struct. It's very important you must pay attention to the size and number of columns and rows of the element in each element in the cell array. Or you can use mat to cell. For example, I bring a simple example in here for you. Let me to create a rand matrix in here. R is the rand, for example, 4 row and 5 columns. It's my matrix. I want to create, it's very important, please pay attention. I bring it in here. I want to create a cell array from this array. Okay, mat to cell must use it as it. The first is the array that you want to work with it. It's R in here, for example, and you must specify the dime order. What's the dime order? As you know, the cell array can contain any size of array in each element. If, for example, I want to convert it to this array, for example, 2 in here, and in here, in here, and this in here. Or a simple example, I want to convert it to this, and I want to convert it to a cell array that it is in the first element and it is the second element. In the dime order, you must specify the number of rows for the first cell element. The next, what's the number of rows in here? 2. The number of rows in here is 3. So I use this command in MATLAB. Okay, let me 2 and 3. A is R. As you see here, let me to save the result in R2. If I open the workspace, you will see that the one of them is two row and 4 columns, and the next has a 3 row and 4 columns. Okay, or another example. The R, let me rename it to R4. For example, 1 row and 4 row. 1 row just this row, and another row considered for another cell in the cell array. Okay, R4. If you open the R4, the first contains this element for the first row of the R, and the second is a 4 and 4, contain the remaining elements. Okay, if I want to create this matrix, how can I do it? For example, this element considered as a 1 cell in the cell array, and this is a 1 cell and it's a 1 cell. It's very simple. You just define the 2 dimension. When you define why not 1 dimension is considered as a row. How many rows it has? 2. How many rows does it have? 3. The next. How many columns does it have? 2. How many columns does it have? 2. So I must write this number. So R, and it is for example R3. I must write 2, 3. Most of the MATLAB user has problem with math to cell. So you can see that a new array is created for me that contain 2 and 2 as I expected. Then it's 3 and 2, this array, and 2 and 2, 2 and 2, and 3 and 2. 3 rows and 2 columns. So if you want, you can use many functions in MATLAB for data type conversion. It's many functions, but it was some of them that I use mostly in my MATLAB code. For complete codes, please go to matlab1.com.